Hi there, gang. Welcome to OSF TV. It has been a minute. We fell a little behind.
It's been a little bit.
And I feel this is all on me. Carly, who is our guest today, this is like our third try of getting her on here. So I'm going to publicly apologize to her. And I have a valid reason.
Why?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but a few years ago, there was this thing going around that people got sick. There was a title; it made the news. It was on
bird flu.
Yeah, you had to dig
Pig
for
flu.
it. It was way back there,
cat flu,
farther back. I don't even know if anyone's even going to remember it anymore. It's
American flu, Spanish flu, French flu.
Yeah. So I don't even know because I didn't take the test. I woke up on I think it was the week that we were supposed to do recording, on our regular schedule. And I woke up and I sounded like a year and a half year old teething. So you told me I'm dug up and I could duck, I feel fine. And then the cough kicked in, and then I lost my voice, and then I had a little bit of a fever, and I went full on into husband sick mode. I complained on a biblical level. It was I looking back on it now, I feel like it was inspiring. I truly do. And because my loving wife and I share, she got sick about a week after I was feeling better, and she did it wrong. And I'm a little disappointed in her.
How'd she do it wrong?
She didn't complain at all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, because when guys get sick, it's just...
Well, clearly the world should stop, and
it should,
and it did. Because I
it should.
Didn't go to work. We made
Doesn't
poor
always,
Carly wait a number of times. No, my wife's like, I'm good, but I could. And she normal life. Everything was like Superwoman. So I'm over here feeling, slightly guilty, but not as bad anymore because now she's better. So now we can laugh about it. So I would like to apologize for being behind on our show, and I would like to apologize to Carly. Let's bring Carly in. Carly from the wedding trailer. She has, and we're going to get into this because the most unique business I have seen in 30 plus years of doing the wedding business, which is what I do for a living. Carly, hi, how are you?
Hi, great, thank you.
Oh, we are.
And yes, to your point, women fully run the world. So I'm glad you've recognized that. And addressed that up front.
Fully agree. Nope, seriously, I happily
Beyonce
married for coming up
it.
on. Well, she wrote a song about it, so it must be true, right? So clearly,
she's the queen.
Well, if you ever look at the production on Beyonce's songs, there's like 30 people per song.
Better than our podcast.
All the single ladies, there's like 40 writers for 6 lines. But to your point, Carly, you are 100%. I have said for years and years and years, women aren't guys. We're like puppies. Pet us once in a while. We might pee on the carpet occasionally, but otherwise we'll be good. And it's much better to have you guys in charge, because that way when we do something stupid, and we will, your wife, your spouse, your partner will look at you and go, "What, are you, an idiot?" And you can say in all honesty, and that's your out. Guys, write that down. There's your out. Because as soon as you admit to being just stupid, it's like,
man,
oh, okay.
I am what I am.
So, Carly, thank you. Thank you for being gracious enough to allow us to reschedule and for me to get back to some semblance of normalcy. I greatly appreciate it. I have been so excited to talk to you. I remember the first conversation that you and I had, even originally when you were still looking to come onto the platform, and we were just kind of getting things in place, and you were telling me about what you do and where you guys came up with it. And I remember talking to you, and I'm like, first thing, we got to get you on the show because this is so cool. This is so unique. This is so different. So I want to kind of start from the very, very beginning. You own a business called The Wedding Trailer, and I'm going to toss it to you to give us just kind of a little bit of background. How did you get started with this whole thing? So let's even go maybe prior to The Wedding Trailer. I'm assuming there's a story that led you to this point. So go back as far as you would like to kind of get you to the path where you are now.
Yeah, it's both a long and a short journey, I would say.
We have time, so go for it.
We do. In February, really back to November, was the main time we were working on this, but overall really identified just a rise in the need for more niche, non-traditional wedding offerings. I think brides and couples in general want more out of the box experiences and solutions that put more emphasis on actually enjoying their big day and reducing the stress and a number of decisions they have to make.
So much. That is so
yes.
true. You know, I talk to couples all the time, and you know, I've been in the business 34 years, so I've got some experience, and I spend literally all day talking to couples that are planning their big day. And something that, it's one of the reasons why we started our Stress Free, honestly, and this is why you fit so perfectly in here.
Right.
But one of the main reasons is that, you know, when I talk to couples, one of the things that I bring up is that, you know, I always ask them, like, let me guess, this is probably the first time, you know, you guys are planning something of this scale, you know, in your lives. And, you know, 99 out of 100 times you're like, yup. And I'm like, it's scary, isn't it? It's overwhelming. There's so many choices. There's so many things. There's so many decisions. All of this just kind of, it can drown people. It can overwhelm them.
Yeah.
And so you notice this very quickly on, and you're like, hey, I got an idea. So
yes, and my friend actually, like, to your point, planned almost her whole wedding, a traditional wedding in Des Moines, and then halfway through she just kind of ditched everything she planned and eloped in Hawaii. So, and you know, there really is somewhere in the middle. Like, it isn't just elope in Hawaii or have a traditional local wedding. So we kind of fit right in that middle ground as well. And then I had my sister-in-law got married and one of my cousins. And overall, I would just say they were both overwhelmed and a little bit disappointed, and specifically the wedding decor options that they had available to them, both in, you know, the quality, the style, the cost, the overall process. They didn't want to look at 10 different centerpieces that, give or take, kind of look exactly the same.
Yep.
So that's really where, you know, in terms of where we were going to take this concept, we decided to focus on wedding decor specifically.
Absolutely. You know, and that's one of those things that, you know, as people are planning their weddings, it usually goes, if they go traditional, it's church, venue, DJ and photographer usually tie at that next point, and then catering, and then decorations come in right at that. And I don't think a lot of people realize when they're thinking about the decor, about how they want their look to do, or how they want their reception to go, like what that entails. I mean, you have to, you know, suddenly set the vibe for this entire room. And like you had mentioned, you know, all the different choices and centerpieces, and all the different choices, and all the different colors, and all the different decorations, and all the different arches, and all of these different things. And there's not a lot of access to those unless you contract with maybe like a wedding coordinator that may have something like that, or, you know, someone, you know, some of the decoration companies that are out there. But most of them pretty much just kind of open their doors and they're like, pick what you want. So now you got a source, but you got so many choices. Andrew.
And the other,
where you're expected to be the expert with something, like you said, you've had no experience planning before.
Right, Andrew.
And the other option would be like places like Hobby Lobby, or what's the word, consignment stores, like buy and sell.
Yeah,
they have
consignment
places.
store. Yeah,
they have places like that too. So it's you're kind of, it's up to what they have too, having stock.
Right, you know, and then, you know, when you're going that route with like consignment stuff and things like that, so now it's used, it's not as high, you know, potentially high quality, you know, so now you're running even a kind of a risk of, you know, will your arch stay up, you know, will your centerpieces continue to look good, you know, will everything be clean? So, you know, then there's a whole another side of potential issues that go with that. And then at the
end, then you got to sell it all back.
Well, and that's exactly what I was going to say next. I think back on my wedding. So this was back when, oh hell, what was the building's been, it's over by Crossroads in Waterloo. It's kind of a funky looking design building. It's been empty forever. It's right outside of the mall. Oh, I can't think of the name of the place. It was all knickknacks. I mean, the whole store was, you know, like fancy bean bags and, you know, different centerpieces and candles and I can't think what the name of the story. Doesn't matter. So anyway, when we were planning our wedding, my wife and my mother-in-law, or my wife and I, or sometimes just my wife, every time we were over in that part of town, we would go buy these purple centerpieces that Nick wanted for our reception. And, you know, rule number one, what the bride wants, the bride gets. I have no dog in this hunt. Like, yep, those look great. You know, I have no idea. But every time any of us were on that side of town, we bought some, right? So the wedding is, you know, we decorate, and we have boxes. We overbought by about $1 million. So we've got boxes of these things, and so we've been married 18 years, right? And we moved to a new house 12 years ago. So look at this, from just 6 years into our marriage, I'm cleaning our basement, you know, getting our old house ready for sale, you know, for people to come through. And I find all of these cardboard boxes stacked in the back corner of our basement. And I'm like, what the hell are those? All of these centerpieces, all just sit. We're never going to use them again. You know, just money. I'm not going to say money wasted, because it was really pretty for the 12 hours that they were on the tables. But 6 years later, still brought them all to Goodwill. Somebody got one hell of a great deal out of the whole thing. So again, this is where Carly sees a great place to step in with the wedding trailer. And so let's talk about, you know, kind of how you started to conceive where you ended up right now. So, you know, you had some friends that went through the experience, and you saw the stress that happened with that. You had some family that went through, you know, same thing, and you immediately noticed, oh, there's a trend here. So what kind of took you to that next step?
Yeah, just thinking, like, how can we make this process easier, simpler, and overall have the end result be even better than what they might have gotten from a more traditional service or decor rental or store type of place.
I love it.
Yeah, we ended up with the concept of a trailer, which is where our name comes from, the wedding trailer. We did a ton of research into weddings, just off of like Pinterest and Instagram, people I knew who were getting married, looking at really those base items that almost every single wedding has for decor. So arches is a big one. Like you said, the centerpieces, everybody has some type of centerpiece. Table numbers, LED candles, bud vases.
Yeah.
I mean, really all the good stuff.
Right.
All the base items.
And I love the fact that you, as you had mentioned on your website, and we're going to get into this in a little bit more as we get into kind of just, you know, some of the, like, your stock and options, but you didn't go to just, you know, the secondhand store and buy a bunch of crap and just shoved it into a trailer. Like, hey, here's what we got, right? I mean, so talk to me a little bit about, and we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but this is kind of this is the way, like, that script I sent you, trust me, it's written in water, not so much in concrete.
Yeah.
But talk about a little bit about the process, about, you know, as you are picking those items, kind of your thought process that goes into the items that you're picking out.
Yeah, I really had three things kind of driving the vision as we were planning this. That is having them be curated, elevated, and effortless. So if I start with the first one, curated, we wanted everything to go together in a cohesive collection, be able to mix and match the inventory and still have them look good without being super matchy-matchy. So to your point, Sean, like, we do not have purple matching centerpieces.
Do you want some? I think I still have some in our new basement.
I'll go to the Goodwill. They might still be there.
It's probably very safe.
No, so, I'm teasing.
No, you're fine. So curated.
Yeah, so doing that creates a more like organic sort of style, more typical to what you would maybe see in like a high-end hotel, or, you know, high-end homes. So really creates a more high-end look to the design. The second piece there being elevated. So we did take all of those core pieces that really almost every event uses and just took them up a notch in the design and the quality. So most of our inventory does not come. We don't get anything from Hobby Lobby. We also don't use the typical like wholesaler companies or websites that a lot of decor rentals use. We do more consumer brands like Anthropologie, CB2, West Elm, where the quality and design is usually a level ahead of what you would normally see for rental items, really to create that elevated inventory that we have.
Awesome. And then effortless, and this is gonna feed right back into getting us right back on track. So let's talk a little bit about the see.
Let's go there.
I'm smarter than I look. So let's talk about the effortless part of it, because this is going to tie into, talk to me about your interaction with couples, because you're kind of there to help guide them as the expert. So talk about that. Let's talk about that third point. Curated, elevated, effortless. Let's expound a little bit on that.
Yes, effortless really being that like our items are beautiful on their own and don't need a ton of styling. You don't have to be a stylist or a decorator to make them look good and to make your event look good. So it's really maximum style, minimum effort. And then also because everything is really ready to go for you, it's already selected. You literally have hundreds of fewer decisions that you have to make in your wedding decor planning process.
I love it. I love it. So, talk to me about just kind of as couples are going through the planning process. And this is one of the main tenets of our Stress Free, is that what we encourage to couples all the time, and we've done this with our Stress Free, we've done this with Ultimate Entertainment. This is something that we have preached to couples for years, and that is lean on your experts. This is your first time planning the biggest day of your life. This is not the first time that we've done a wedding. This is not the vendor's first time. This is your first time. And so all of those fears are there, and they're natural and they're normal, but your wedding experts are the ones that can make a lot of those fears either be greatly reduced or completely removed. And so let's talk about just kind of your interaction with couples. Your website is very detailed. It's beautiful. If you look at on our Stress Free listing, we tie everything together with your website. So it is a great seamless transition from one to the other. But talk to me about, what do you do? What is your services directly for the couples as they're trying to decide what to choose from between the trailers and then between the options that go with them?
Yeah, and like you said, our website really is the hub for that. We didn't want to gatekeep any information. Like you don't have to take PTO or a day off to pick out your wedding decor. Like you don't have to wait for a consultation. You don't have to wait for a quote. So, to back up one step, we have 2 trailers available to rent. They have similar but slightly different items in terms of the style. So the same number, the same types of items, but like the style of the arch in trailer 1, a little bit different than the style of the arch in trailer 2. Same with the table numbers, other small differences. So we have like your base items in your trailer, and then we've also given the option to add on an accent collection, which gets you like one step further to the theme of your wedding, like the color, just kind of the overall vibe.
Yeah.
Just to get you a little bit farther to what your vision is, instead of just the base and the core items there. But in their planning process, like we do have the list of our full inventory. It has the quantity, the sizes, the dimension, even the retail price of what you're getting, just so it's very clear up front. Like it's truly a like what you see is what you get type scenario. So there should be 0 surprises when you pick up your trailer on the day. Obviously, we're hands off, but extremely responsive. So if you have questions, if you want to see different pictures, videos, if you're like, how many floral stems go in this thing? Like we are more than happy to walk you through that.
Absolutely.
And to your point, like we have tested all of these items. Nothing is going to break on the day. We've tested how to pack them, how to organize them. So really the process has been extremely thought through to set you up for success.
That's fantastic. It just really, and especially with more and more couples kind of going with that DIY kind of approach to their receptions, where it's, we want to do it ourselves to so many different degrees, you're packaging things together, making things so much simpler for them to choose from. You know, trailer 1, trailer 2, here's what's in trailer 1, here's what's in trailer 2, here's some of the options that go with that. It makes things so much easier. Andrew, you had...
Well, do you have a surprise me option, or like what is that? Let's make a deal.
I need to make like a quiz. That's like, here's the quiz,
1.
and it'll tell you which one to pick.
So here's our pricing for trailer 1. Here's our pricing for trailer 2.
Now,
if you want to roll the dice and see what you get.
Here's in trailer 1. Now, do you want to stick with trailer 1, or do you want to go with number 2 or number 3?
And that's how we ended up with chickens at our wedding. No,
there's a goat in one of them. Sorry, I had to.
I think that would be hilarious. Don't do that.
No, no plans for a game show anytime soon.
I think you're making the right decision there.
Yes.
That's awesome. So, how long have you guys been doing this now?
We're pretty new. We launched in February, so awesome. It's now just April, a couple months.
Yeah. How's your response so far?
It's been amazing. So much interest, both from couples as well as just other vendors in the industry. A lot of venues, who have more of like a blank slate concept where they don't provide the decor, have been super excited about this because they picked the venue, like you said, and now they're like, oh shoot, we have to decorate it and fill it with stuff. And that could be a big barrier for some people in terms of, which venue to go with. So,
100%.
Easy solution there.
I love there's a number of venues that we work with that are literally just like their open campus. It's just an open canvas where you can make it your own. You can be as eloquent, you can be as simple, you can do like the center in Waverly is they're not on board with us, but it's someone that I'm going to say great things about because they are a very good service, and they are just it's a former Walmart. I mean, it's literally just a big empty building that you can make it yourself. So like your services for a venue like that is a gold mine to couples, because it really gives them the opportunity to make it look as elegant or as simple as they want to make it. I think that is absolutely fantastic. So I don't know if you've had a chance, Carly, to watch anything on the show or any previous shows. I'm sure you have binge watched all of them because everyone is just so packed full of just amazing information, a little bit of comedy. There's some drama, there's love, there's heartache.
Sean, I've seen an episode. I've seen an episode.
Good. See, and one's all it takes because after one, you've pretty much seen them all. But the main thing about that is about midway through the show, we like to have what we refer to as the Andrew moment. This is a moment that people have yearned for, and with that, I have a new toy that I can use to make it that much better. So if I hit this, ladies and gentlemen. The Andrew moment.
I want to break that thing sometime.
You thought I lost it, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I still got it.
You got a whole closet full. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We have Carly with the wedding trailer. Thank you all for watching. I mean, if you've made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, click the bell in the corner for notifications so you can stay up to date with all the latest content that we have and that we put out, because we're going to be putting out more and more because we were what, bi-weekly
every other week. Yep,
every other week,
back on track. As long as we stay healthy.
Stay healthy, sure. But I mean, we were talking about week after week now because
it's very now that we're back kind of in the wedding season, back kind of in the swing of things. Absolutely,
I think it's possible. So
stay tuned. Best way to do that is subscribe and learn. Listen to Andrew. He is wise beyond his height. So it makes a giant. I don't know. It's just a new thing to say. I'm just trying to think.
Sure, just trying it on.
So we're talking to Carly. This is episode 30, by the way.
30.
This is a big one. This is episode 30. The wedding trailer. This is truly one of the most unique concepts in the wedding industry. And what Carly and her team have done is they have created 2 trailers, and you have the opportunity to choose from one or the other, and they kind of walk you through all the steps of what's in each trailer, and each one kind of has its own unique look to it. And then once you pick kind of your overall look, you have 3 kind of choices to kind of build on from there. And correct me, jump in at any time, Carly, if I'm wrong on anything. But what we have so far, the anatomy of your wedding trailer, kind of like you call it, your capsule events, which I think is awesome. I think that fits. I think that fits real well. You've got your base, you've got your vibe, and then you've got your personal touches that can go with it. So let's kind of break that down a little bit. So let's start with the base. So what's kind of the baseline starting point with the trailers?
Yeah, so the baseline at the core, like it is those core items. So the glassware for the centerpieces, we have centerpieces to accommodate up to 20 tables. If you have less than that, you could double up or find other plaplaces to use them.
And that's something I'm sorry, I didn't want to just to interrupt real quick. One of the things that I wrote down that you had mentioned, because I don't want people to think, if you rent the trailer, you have to use everything in the trailer. And you don't, right? I mean, you can rent the trailer, and if there's some things you're like, no, that doesn't quite fit with what we need, that's cool. Right. That's okay. So there is no expectation of you got to use everything that's in there. So you start with your base, like and you said, that's kind of your table numbers and the candles, kind of.
You have the arches in there.
Sure.
Yes.
All the stuff that you see.
Some greenery.
Perfect. So let's talk about the vibe. I think that's a kind of the new term that's popped up with everybody, and I love it. I think it really gives people a great feel for where things are. So let's talk about the vibe of things. Where do you help with that?
As we were planning the inventory, like we didn't want to add too much color or too much of a theme into those base trailers, right? Because they really do fit any wedding that somebody could have. But we also wanted to give you one more step in the right direction of the vibe for your wedding and what you imagine that to be. So the first one is more of a modern classic theme. We have accent vases, a chair, and a rug in each one of these accent collections. So it's really the perfect amount of inventory for like a little photo op, or if you want to use some of it as at like your welcome table or your sweetheart table, it's perfect for that. So the first one is more neutral. It's grays, tans, glass, right? Works for about anybody. The second one is like a luxe boho theme. So it has more of a blush color with the vases and the rug and a really pretty fan back rattan chair.
Cool.
And then the third one, sorry, go ahead.
No, keep going.
Sure. The third one is more of like our dark and moody theme. So a darker rug, a really pretty wooden carved chair, and then some darker vases to go along with that as well. So when we were just like thinking of like all the color schemes and all the themes that somebody could have, these really do fit most of them.
Sure. And so these kind of three different themes, this is what you would add to their trailer. So they've got their base, which comes kind of standard with everything.
The base.
And then they can add these three different potential accent pieces that go with it. Do they have to do that, or can they go with just the base?
It comes with the price. We have one flat price.
Okay.
So it's in your best interest.
So why wouldn't you not do that?
Yeah. Okay. So pick the one that's closest to the theme that you have for your wedding. And then on that third point really is your personal touch, or just the other things you want. So we know we're not going to have 100% of the items everybody wants for a wedding.
Sure.
So we try to get you about 80-90% of the way there, and the 10% is your fresh florals.
Sure.
Anything else that you've had in your Pinterest board that might not be in our trailer, that's where that gets added in. If you want to have a disco ball themed wedding, right? You got to bring in all your disco balls to to add to the inventory that we have.
You might want to be careful. You might want to add those to your trailers. I have had more requests.
They're like a thing now.
Weeks. The disco balls are coming back. I remember the first two DJ companies I worked for back in the Stone Age. This is you had to crank the album to make everything work. Disco ball was like our center light option for mobile DJ. Like, gotta have a disco ball. And you had the two little spotlights up on the stand. The disco ball would hang over. You'd put like a truss up. They're coming back because I know, like with Ultimate Entertainment this weekend, we've got like like there's like 9 proms that we're doing this weekend, and I have had more requests for disco balls, and this is from teenagers. So imagine this is a trend that is suddenly coming forward. See, we need to look to you, Carly. You need to throw in the disco ball in there.
I had a venue I was working at once, and they had a disco ball. Extra cost to flip the switch and make it run. But they finally did, and this thing was so old. When it started rotating, you just heard.
Well, that motor's probably been there since like 1975.
Dust and asbestos is falling from the ceiling. And yeah, let's get that changed.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe just put a light up on it. Yeah, they're coming back. The disco balls are it's coming back. So people select their trailer 1, trailer 2. And then the other neat thing is that you have 2 locations as well. You're based out of Des Moines, and you've got a location in Iowa City as well. So you really cover a very substantial part of the state. Talk to me about that.
That's for any of the options. So whatever you pick for your dates, you get to then pick the location. So if you're closer to Des Moines, closer to Iowa City, we'll make sure the right trailer with the right accent collection is inside and ready to go for you.
Outstanding. That's fantastic. I love that. So, and then, to kind of give people the window of time that they need, everything, with pretty much all of their other vendors, with except like a photographer, which you're going to work over multiple days with. But most people think of, okay, Saturday morning decorating, so you've got X number of hours before the ceremony or X number of hours before the guests, and it's one more thing to pile onto your shoulders to add to that stress. You guys are gracious enough to let your rental is starting on Thursday.
Yeah.
So you give couples time to go through, if they can get into the venue early and set up, they can get all of that done, they can take care of it, and then just got to have everything back and buttoned up by Monday to you. And it's as simple as that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I just think that it's so cool. And we had talked about like the high end designers on stuff, and then ease of use. So talk to me a little bit about on your website some of the different catalog items as you guys pick those through, as you decide on what you want to offer in the trailers. Is this from market research from you? Is this from from requests from guests? Is this where are you coming up with what you feel is kind of the best direction to go to offer to people?
Yeah, a mix of all 3 of those. And as I mentioned earlier, looked a lot at Instagram and Pinterest. We wanted everything we're providing to be very trendy and up to date, but also really easy to style. So we don't want something that is going to take a ton of fresh florals or a ton of props to make look good. So really that balance between, is it a high-end design piece? Does it have still a timeless feel? Is it I don't want to say generic, but universal enough that it's going to look good in really any type of venue with any type of theme. And then, also got feedback. We did a couple like test events with some rides early on to work through any tweaks that needed to be made in our inventory. And we will continue to do that as we do more weddings, get more experience, always looking for feedback. If we see a certain item that people are, continually looking for that we don't have, since, we do run like a pretty tight ship with our inventory, it makes it a lot easier to be flexible and adapt and switch things out as needed.
That's awesome. What I'm just curious, I understand kind of what led you to this path. I mean, from family members and friends kind of seeing that need. What's your background? Is there something else that kind of guided you to kind of fit along with like a path that you're already on, or is this?
Yeah, we like veered from that story, didn't we?
Yeah, let's get back to the basics.
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did work all throughout high school and college. I worked in a couple of different bridal rental and floral shops.
Okay.
So definitely have dabbled in the industry, not necessarily as a professional because I was still going through school, but great experience regardless. My full time right now, my full time day job is in digital marketing. So I would say, that definitely helped as well. And I redo my house on the weekends with like interior design. So it kind of like blends all my passions. I'm like a big shopper. I know this sounds weird, but I'm like really good. I'm like really good at shopping, guys. No, but I can find like really unique, fun pieces
Mhm.
at really good prices that other people can't seem to find. So the passion is definitely there. And then with my own wedding, I would say like I kind like if this existed at my wedding, like 100% this is what I would have done.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
but it wasn't, so I kind of like hacked it, right? I'm like, I don't want to hand pick all these decor items.
So I'm curious
So
if
we eloped in Hawaii, but then we had a reception in Des Moines.
nice. What island? Hawaii is like my
Yeah.
wife and I's go-to place. So tell me about your elopement.
Yeah, we're just like we don't want to necessarily deal with the logistics. We're not super traditional to
Uh,
begin with. So we're like, we would really just like this day to be about the two of us with no
yeah.
distractions, and really be able to enjoy it and not worry about does somebody like the food,
And is there
what's
a
the music like, that type of thing.
better place on earth for a sunset picture than Hawaii?
There is not.
I
I don't think
mean,
so.
seriously, it just I picked in the wedding business. I should have been a photographer. Then I could be a wedding photographer in Hawaii. Well, I know photographers they have a great life.
Quite a few photographers are.
I do. My good friend Chris. Oh, this side. My friend Chris, the artist, his original painting back there lives on Oahu. He is a fantastic artist. Chris Sebo Art. Recommend strongly. I really need to get him to sponsor us one of these days. He's got art all over the damn world now. He's like a superstar. What island did you go to when you eloped?
We were in Maui.
Yeah. Oh,
I hear good things.
it's okay. I mean,
It's all right.
as long as you can tolerate the absolutely breathtaking flowers and ocean and waterfalls. I mean, other than that,
Right.
yeah. It's the flight.
Got everything I need in Iowa.
Yeah. Look at that sunset, that beautiful shade of brown on everything right now. It's just gorgeous out there. it's getting better. It's getting greener. So I did notice something on your website that kind of jumped out at me a little bit. Let's talk about the Flutter. You've got a couple new theme things you can throw in there. You've got Barbie, which I love, and you got our girl. You got Taylor T Swift.
Yep.
So talk to me about this. This is a new spin you got.
Yeah, the Flutter is our blog.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we have articles really about all things wedding, whether it's how to style our inventory, like what is a capsule event, and then I also do posts, like you said, for the Barbie one specifically. It was like what to wear to a Barbie themed bachelorette party, and having major FOMO about not getting to go to any T Swift concerts for her Eras tour. So did a post of Eras tour inspired bridal jackets. So we throw in some like fun, trendy editorial content as well, just to give our followers and brides some extra ideas and
Awesome.
other types of content.
Well, you have my deepest sympathies for not being able to get to her concert, and I'm very sorry. I know there's support groups out there right now because when it comes to T Swift, she sings my life. I don't know about you, Andrew.
Full of breakups? Or?
Yeah. Well, my life before I met my wife. After that, it was just tragedy. You know what's funny? And this because I've got no problem with Taylor Swift. I like her. She's
I sing some songs.
clearly she is talented. Clearly she is a talented human being. She is, and I tell this to T Swift fans, and they die a little bit inside every time. But like last year, 2022, Taylor Swift was the most unrequested artist at Alt Entertainment.
Really?
Yep. Yep. When I would talk to brides, hey, is there anything in particular, that, like one of the things that we offer to our clients, of course, as a DJ service, is the ability to let us know what they want for their wedding. What kind of music they want, what kind of vibe you want. You guys country, you like pop, you like, and usually it's, we like, a little mix of everything. Maybe they skew a little bit more towards top 40, or they skew a little bit more towards country or something like that. And it's usually just kind of a, we're not big country fans, but we, if Aunt Betty requests, Garth Brooks, The Dance, fine. It's 3 minutes of our lives. We'll get over it. It's like they're not stressing out about it. But the one artist that I have definitively been told do not play most is Taylor Swift.
Shame.
I know. I don't know if it's because most of her songs are about breaking up.
Could be.
I'm not sure. But I always feel we had a bride one time that seriously she put in, not only on her planner in her notes, but she emailed me on top of it, and we talked about it before her wedding, and she put it in writing. Even if Taylor Swift is requested 100 times, you can't play it. And so, being a bit of a smartass, I'm like, all right, just out of curiosity, let's say someone's really dedicated. I mean, a true T Swift fan would go to that 101. What about then? And she laughed. She's like, okay, if they are dedicated enough to beg you 101 times, you can play the stupid song. I'm like, all right, cool. I just wanted to know where we stood.
Where the line is.
Need to know where the line is. So,
Sean, it's because those songs have gotten her through all of her prior breakups, all the bad eggs. So that's where the memories are coming from. It's not that she doesn't like it. She just doesn't want to be reminded of her exes on her wedding day. Nothing you tell me about Taylor Swift will change my mind.
No, I am not taking any, don't get me wrong, I am not taking anything away from Taylor Swift. I like her.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I like her music. I think she's got a beautiful voice. She markets herself just pretty okay. I mean, she broke the internet when her tickets went on sale, so she's doing something right. So yeah. It strikes me as funny that out of all of the potential artists. I mean, there's some, artists out there when you get into, more of the club stuff or, things like that, which, shot grandma out of her chair, but that's okay to play. But, Cardi B had a song a couple years ago that was very, very popular that you can't play on the radio without a whole different version of the song because it needs to be so heavily edited. And yet that was one of the most requested songs for weddings, but not Taylor. Can't play Taylor. I don't know. We're a little off topic. I apologize. So this is just for my curiosities, and you guys eloped. You said you were kind of pretty low key when it comes to your approach to the way that you guys got married. It sounded like you went with a very nice intimate setting like that. Just working in the wedding industry. What's your favorite? What's your favorite moment at a wedding? Whether you're a guest, it's yours. It was a family member's. What's your favorite moment when it comes to weddings?
I really like to just see how each couple makes it their own, right? Like what personal twist do they put on their big day? Have seen some, people have like those little, when you walk in, you get like a champagne toast. That's always fun. Just like anything that shows their personality. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's like a good nod to the guest. That's like, hey, we really appreciate you being here and sharing, this moment with us.
Absolutely. And that's something, because it's interesting because I tell couples all the time, or, kind of counsel with them about how important it is to make it their own, because I've seen so many brides, Andrew, you've seen the same thing, so many brides that get so stressed out because they're afraid of, oh my gosh, what is Aunt Betty going to think if I walk down the aisle to, I don't know, something from Star Wars or something like that, and brides get so in their heads about their own day because they're afraid of what their guests are going to think. And the thing I tell them all the time is, hey, this is, and don't let it go to your head too much, but this is truly the one day on your wedding day, brides in particular, this is the one day where you can be 100% selfish.
Oh yeah.
This is your day. I mean, this is and it deserves to be your day. There is a reason that wedding dresses can cost into the tens of thousands of dollars or more, right? And us guys, the idiots, we get our tuxes for free when everybody else and all of our groomsmen rent from the same place.
It's awesome.
So it is all about our bride. But it's all about creating those special memories. Like, you're a perfect example of that, Carly. You guys, you and your husband wanted somewhere special, very simple, that you had, kind of control over how you wanted your day to be. You didn't want to have the big to-do, eloping at an intimate place like that where they take care of all of the details. Your only job is to show up, look beautiful, and say, I do at the right time, right? I mean, it's as simple as that.
That's it.
Absolutely.
And we definitely had, some questions. It's like, so you're having a reception, but like you're already be married, like you're not going to walk down the aisle. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. Right. So hope you still show up. But and they did. But I also love when people like break the rules like that. Like, you don't have to follow the traditional wedding day script, right? Like, you could do whatever you want.
Right.
It's your day.
100%. Last time we were in Hawaii, we were on Oahu, and we went to this beautiful. It was a recreation of a Buddhist temple it's from Japan. That the original one is over 1,000 years old. It's one of the oldest standing structures in Japan, and it is gorgeous. And so we went to the recreation of it, which is equally as beautiful. I mean, you're in the mountains. It's beautiful, and it's very quiet, and it's very serene, and you feel just kind of just a really beautiful sense of calmness. So here we are walking around the beautiful grounds of this gorgeous temple, and I look across the lake, and there's a lake separating. Like, you got the temple and then lake, and then there's like just a neat little kind of front grassy area, right? So we're in the temple, and I look across this lake, and I see what looks like a guy in a blow-up yellow submarine outfit, like an inflatable submarine. I looked at my wife. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? And she's like, yeah. Talking about making it your own. So we worked our way around because I wanted to see what the hell was going on. And what it was is there was a couple that got married. They were huge Beatles fans, huge Sgt. Pepper's fans. And if you remember the cover, if you've ever seen the cover of the Sgt. Pepper album, there's the song, Yellow Submarine is one of the big songs. There's a yellow submarine on the cover. The groom was dressed in the blue pajamas that Ringo wore. The officiant was in an inflatable yellow submarine costume.
You can't think of Yellow Submarine and not think of the Beatles.
Right.
It's impossible.
Exactly. But to Carly's point, they made it 100% their own. Here they are in this literally sacred Buddhist place, right? This special serene place, and the officiant in this blow-up yellow submarine. The groom dressed up as Ringo, and a lot of their guests were dressed in different kind of costumes from the album cover. And you want to be the example of make this yours. This is how you do it. And trust me, couples, when you are planning your big day, the last thing you need to worry about is, what are the guests going to think? That is absolutely the last thing on your list of priorities. This is your day. Make it your day. And one of the amazing things that Carly and the wedding trailer can do for you is they can take a lot of the pressure off of your shoulders for trying to decide on decorations. Oh gosh, now we've got all these choices on decoration. How are we going to find these things? How are we going to do these things? Who do we talk to for this? Carly has put all of this in one spot, and it's absolutely amazing. If you go to Arch Dress Free, you can look them up. Just type in the wedding trailer. Their listing pops up. We've got it right here, up and on, correct? Yes. And we have got everything tied into their website back. So you can see their entire catalog on absolutely everything. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Let's see if that'll open up in the same tab. Yep. So that will take them over there, and then you can see the different trailers and all the different offerings and how everything kind of puts together. How you can reach out to them, how you can contact them, the different accent collections. There we go. So we can kind of look at all the different choices that are in there and your different options within the trailer and how it all works, how it all comes together. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. I love this concept. I think it's absolutely unique in an industry that needs more uniqueness. And I think you have really found something very, very cool. Is there anything that you would like to add? Anything more that we missed? The floor is yours.
No, thank you. I think this is all great. You know, to your point of the YOLO submarine, I think that's also really ties into the beauty of what we offer, because we've been able to reduce the other decisions that you have. Like, if that's your dream, I don't know if you want to leave your wedding in a vintage car, right? Like, we're also very cost effective, so that might just save you enough money to be able to do that other really like wow thing at your wedding that you've been pitting about for the past 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. Your price points are fantastic. And if you were to take that compared to like all the crap that my wife and I bought for ours, we spent a boatload of money on things that we only used once, and then it sat in our basement for years and years and years and years, whereas the wedding trailer has everything you need in one place. You pick what you want, you customize how you want it, you pick it up, use what you want out of that trailer, pack it up, bring it home,
drop it off,
you're done, drop it off.
That's it.
It can't get any simpler. It's absolutely amazing. You have been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again for allowing us to reschedule. I'm so sorry for I hate putting people off when we have schedules on stuff like that. So I really appreciate you on that. And you have been an absolute blast. We'll have you back on again as you guys continue to grow and as you guys continue to expand. I'm so excited to see what you have coming in the future. I think you are onto an amazing concept, and I think more people need to learn about that. Andrew, what you agree? What do you think?
Yeah.
Thanks. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
What he said.
Good. Anything I missed, Mr. Cruz?
No, I don't think so.
Perfect. Hey, thank you so much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe. We really, really, really do appreciate that. We love the traffic that we've been getting so far. I mean, the viewerships are going up and up and up, and we love it. Spread the word, please. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, you have a stress-free day.